feel like they're wanted, to feel like they have some type of mutual uh, alignment, so to speak.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I actually agree with both of you for the different things you kind of pointed out. I think there's multiple things simultaneously going on for why there's even this uproar, especially amongst foundational Black women in this space, in relation to this topic as relates to interracial relationships. Number one, um, I think Darwin kind of hit at it, and actually both of you kind of hit it at it. The first thing is about what it reveals in terms of desirability between both sexes in this respective community. We may arguably be one of only two men where we're globally more desired than our women. That's not the case for Asian men. White men, they pretty much go anywhere they want around the country. I mean, around the world, and the same is functionally pretty close to true for Black foundational Black Americans specifically, especially because we're Americans. So there's a desirability gap that whenever they see a Black man with a non-foundational Black American woman, let alone another race of a woman, that exposes that desirability gap because they know that a lot of them won't be able to move nearly as easily as many of us potentially can. And then number two, it reveals that there is a competition. It doesn't matter what all the women say on the panels. It doesn't matter what they say behind closed doors. They know deep down that there is a competition, which is why they have the reactions they do every time they see a high quality, in demand Black man, good looking one, a credentialed one, a one that's very professional athlete, or whatever. They know it's a competition. So when there's a desirability gap, when there is a competition issue, and they feel like they want you to still remain loyal, but this is the problem. When they don't want to give the things that the men are saying that they want and are looking for, then what this means is it's not just that you want men to stay loyal. No, you want ownership over Black men. And it's what they actually want is the ownership of the right to be able to refuse, but not have to be chosen. This is why they can push off marriage. This is why they can have kids when they want to. This is why they can say they don't need a man. They want the right to be able to refuse dealing with a particular Black man, but they want to always be in a position of being chosen by one. So that's a careful, and I'm parsing my words carefully what I'm about to say. This is why they can have kids. This is why they can have sex with Black men. This is why they can prolong marriage or think it's not important. This is why they run around and say, I don't need a man, I can want a man. They want the right to refuse Black men whenever they feel like it, but they still want to be his only choice. That's the whole dynamic. From ownership, desirability, competition, and the right to refuse while simultaneously getting to picking, but being his only choice. That's the options that they have for us. So once Black men stop operating with those rules, when they stop listening to it, when they just do what they think is best for them in the moment, it's just a game changer. Because at that moment, you got to realize, like, the words don't matter, the shaming tactics don't matter. We see the double standards left and right. So once we see what that issue is, and you decide I'm going to date Black, white, whatever I want because it's right for me, and when they realize those shaming tactics don't work anymore, this is what causes the uproar.
Yeah.
This is what causes the uproar.
And listen, I don't mind women wanting me to be exclusive to them and me being their only option. I just don't like it when I gotta wait to Tyrone and Pookie get you back shots. You got hot girl summer in your 20s. Now you want me to be the only. Like, come on with that. That shit is played out. So we're gonna keep going. Man. A little shade, but we're gonna keep going.
Agree that we must talk, but I do also understand the value in us talking, our perspective.
We got that part, but how do we find solutions?
Well, the only thing is we're not gonna get to a solution because there is still something on the table.
Yeah.
There's still something on the table, and we gotta.
What's on the table?
Your point of view.
His what's on the table to me is how do we as Black men?
You said listen and lose.
No, but I'm just interjecting, bro. Y'all said interject.
Well, inject.
Listen, I'm saying, how do we help Black women? I'm telling you,
Well, first we gotta help ourselves.
We gotta help ourselves.
We can't go to no black
What I'm
women
saying is-
if we can't figure out
Right.
If
And
we
I'm
can't
saying
figure out
what
what
you-
love
what
really
you
means,
said
what
earlier.
love looks like to us, what love has been to us, what have we been taught about
saying, we come
love,
from generations of no love.
right? But
Right,
then,
so we
but
gotta
does
go back to-
patriarchy come with accountability? 'Cause
No, I
what
think
is
we
the
gotta go back
definition
to
of
The
patriarchy?
definition of patriarchy is when we have systems of domination for men. Right now, I think we're not doing a good job of naming the system that literally incentivizes us to be on some fuck shit. Or
Now, listen, I want to speak to that a little bit. I don't know if he was 100% accurate on when we have systems of domination for men. I don't know if I think he oversimplified it. Systems of domination. See, domination, it just seemed like it's an extreme. I would have been more understanding if we just said systems of control or a system where men have overwhelming responsibility on the infrastructure and how things are run in society. But systems of domination. But there is systems where if men are on some fuck shit, that the system holds us accountable. It holds us accountable. We can't just go around here and being reckless with our opinions. They're gonna come and get you. Child support gonna come hunt you down and put you in jail. And you're gonna have arrears. You get over 100,000, you can't even use the passport. It's gone. In some of these cases, I don't think you can use a driver license once you get to a certain infraction. So like there's accountability. So I don't get why he went that way. Shout out to my man Willie Mother. Willie said. Shout out to the panel, Darwin Asking Brother Podcast, Obsidian, a whole lot of black excellence ish going on. Appreciate that, my brother. So yeah, man. And he also, so he said we haven't identified the systems that allow black men to be on some F stuff. What do you think about that? Do you think there are systems within the patriarchy that allows black men or men in general just to be ungoverned? And whenever we want to just do some Fs, we can do it.
I think that what they're attributing to a system is also the natural dynamics of power, of strength differences between men and women, and just a general setting. Like, for instance, let's say we truly were a matriarchy in every sense of what that word truly means. There is no, like, women run it all. When a man can put his hands on a woman and attack her, assault her, take her life, that's just the man, an individual man using his power, right? So when one man beats up on another man, that's just normal things that you see in the animal kingdom. And I think what's happening is sometimes we're giving credit for these systems when it's just a reflection of human relationships, interactions, dynamics, right? So that's an initial issue that I would note with it. And the second issue, when it comes to that they kind of mentioned, when it comes to this overuse of the patriarchy to describe any and every interaction between a man and a woman, this is womanese. Okay, like we gotta slow down with everything's the patriarchy. Everything's the patriarchy. Like, okay, relax for a second. Let's start with the basics. My view is that a lot of what women are attributing to when they're blaming the quote unquote patriarchy and all this other stuff, it's either things they haven't experienced at all, that they're just taking off of social media and other people's stories, or they're applying it to men, the few men that they've experienced it with.
Bingo. It's always a relationship gone wrong.
It's never positive. And this is
Right.
what I'm getting at. If you were truly really articulating well what the patriarchy is, you got to know there's a reason for why it existed as long. And it wasn't just because men were just dominating. It's because there was some positives that came with it. There were some benefits as well as some negatives. And when they reference the patriarchy, it's always negative. So my view is they're typically using that as a reference point. What they're really talking about is bad men. And they keep using it as a blanket statement to refer to all men.
Correct.
Most men that you're talking about haven't done 90 to 98% of the things you're attributing to the quote unquote patriarchy.
Correct.
They don't pick who their daughter or son gets to marry.
Correct.
They don't dictate a whole lot of stuff. And I'm like, you're getting more. You functionally have more rights than any woman that's ever existed in the history of humanity, and you talk as if you're underwater and the patriarchy is the water. Like you're just drowning in this stuff. They
are not in Afghanistan, brother. They're not.
Like we are so far from Middle Eastern countries where there's genital mutilation and women can't show their faces or show their hair and can't get jobs and can't get education. They can do all of those things. We're so far on the other extreme. They can objectify themselves in public and on social media and get compensated for it.
He can run for president.
And then you're still talking about the patriarchy, which you're benefiting from selling your sexuality to men. Like, this is why. So having men articulate this stuff is what makes it look even weaker to me.
Yeah, so it's a disappointment. Blatant.
I agree.
I'm just interjecting, bro. Y'all said interject.
Well, interject.
Listen, I'm saying, how do we help black women? I'm telling you.
Well, first we gotta help ourselves.
Right.
But I'm saying is, if we can't figure out, if we can't figure out what love really means, what love looks like to us, what love has been to us, what have we been taught about love?
We come from generations of no love.
Right. But does patriarchy come with accountability?
No, I think the
definition of patriarchy is when we have systems of domination for men. Right now, I think we're not doing a good job of naming the system that literally incentivizes us to be on some fuck shit, or it incentivizes us to always want to be dominated in power. But I think in our conversation right now as black people, a lot of times when you hear the word patriarchy, you think about the word patriarchy, you think about how we're taught in Christianity to be patriarchs. So a lot of us have a hard time thinking about leadership and thinking about how that leadership comes out in fucked up ways. I.e., I want to be a patriarch like Father Abraham, therefore patriarchy is good. Patriarchy is not good. The system of domination for women is not good. But
he does know that Christianity, I'm not a Christian, but he does know that Christianity was one of the major forces of liberation for women, right? I mean, it's in the Bible. I mean, you can look this up for yourself, and you have to take my word for it. I mean, it talks about, I want to say it's the Galatians, I believe. It's definitely one of the Pauline epistles. And I want to say it's the Galatians, where he discusses that there be no difference between Jew and Gentile, between male and female, but all are same in the eyes of our Lord Christ Jesus, I believe, or words to that effect. It's pretty clear right there. So, I mean, what is he talking about?
Listen, I'm gonna make it as crystal clear. When you get men in a space where their volume and their tonality they're getting all hype about talking about we need to dismantle the patriarchy. If you want to know how far he is in the weeds of being feminized, all you got to do is ask him, hey, is the reason why the patriarchy is a problem is because it's filled with broken, flawed human beings that are men that are capable of using that power in the wrong ways? Yes. That's what the problem of the patriarchy is. Question. Feminism and the matriarchy. What's the flaws that come with that? These men will not say that out loud on camera or in front of women. Is it because women are completely perfect and they have no flaws and they're not capable of weaponizing and using power in the wrong ways? We got Me Too, false allegations. We got the paternity test. That we got all the laws that they don't want to change that's in their favor. Women, when they get the power, 9 times out of 10, how do they vote to keep it? So basically what I'm getting at is when you get guys like this that super duper always talk about the patriarchy, we're going to dismantle. Notice that they never talk about dismantling when women are in power positions that they can easily abuse. They never talk about the ways in which a matriarchy, feminism, it's because a male that's feminized can only highlight all the ways in which power can be corrupted from men, not from women. So when you hear this discussion of saying, what do we do to fix things between men and women? He's talking about the patriarchy. Notice he didn't talk about a matriarchy or feminism or anything that's a benefit to women or that women are using in excess. He's not going to reference it. Everything is about how men are at fault and that men need to change. I'm telling you, fellas, when you start seeing this, when you start realize, like, everybody watching, when y'all get this, when y'all catch it, you'll recognize these men like that. Because now you'll realize how far of the feminization track he's down. Is he just at the teetering where he kind of just stays silent? He doesn't really share his opinions because he doesn't want to piss off the wife, the girlfriend, the sister, the auntie or whatever? Or is he like the Simpson, some of the Simpson here, where when they get down to the base ground level, they've been so feminized to where everything that's wrong between men and women lays at the feet of men.
Right.
So they'll blame men, but still don't want them to be leaders out as well.
One other thing, brother in the chat room, and who is he? The brother Stuart Knight. Stuart Knight says Clifton represents the Mr. mindset. Now that's interesting. For those who don't know, Mr., the character portrayed by the excellent actor Danny Glover in the film adaptation of The Color Purple. You know, and he was I tried to read the book. I talk about this in Toxic Femininity, the Black Man's Guide to Modern Black Feminism. I talk about it in a chapter early on in the book called The Color Purpling of Black America. And I tried hard to read The Color Purple, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It was just so depraved. The things that Mr. Alfonso, other male characters, the things that they did to Black, it was just so like over the top, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I found it so repugnant and disgusting. Like, it would never occur to me to treat a sister. It would never occur to me to do that. It just would not occur to me to do that. You know, okay, you get into an argument, you might say something out of turn. I get that part. But as far as like the stuff that they was talking about, it just turned my stomach. I couldn't do it.
This stuff gets so bad with the ideology and the ideological hold that they have on our population, especially a lot of Americanized men right now, that somebody said it in the chat. Stuart Knight, actually, he said earlier, patriarchy is implied with being born male. And I'm going to argue that this ideology is so dogmatic that it actually functions much more similarly to a religion, and specifically the Christian religion. How? Because in the Christian faith, when you're born in sin, shaped in iniquity, you start off guilty and you have to make recompense. You have to, you got to repent. You got to acknowledge that you're guilty by default, right? The patriarchy, the way in which it's being articulated and weaponized and thrown at men and men's faces, you're born guilty as a man. You didn't have to do anything to any woman. You are by default already considered a part of the system that they think is broken and flawed and messed up. This is a religion at this point. It's a religion. It is a religious type experience where their conceptualization of the population is, if believe all women is a thing, which means all men are guilty when they're accused of something, and you're just by being a male, you already are both the recipient and therefore the blame for the patriarchy. This sounds like depravity. This sounds like how sin is viewed in religion, in the Christian faith. You are born in this and shaped in this, and you have to repent for the fact of just being a male to begin with. It's when you. I'm telling you, man, this stuff is crazy.
Stuff deep.
A lot of us buy into that.
So I got a question I want to ask you.
What's your
How
question?
do we unlearn that? I think we unlearn that by listening to what he's saying.
About what specifically?
It's therapy. So we can go understand all of it.
But listen, I want to be clear. Right now, we're talking about a system of power.
Right.
If you think interpersonally going to therapy is going to deconstruct the system of power, no.
I'm not saying that.
But this is what we get at. Right now, we're talking about trusted Black women. Though. There's a system I'm saying that goes against it.
Aspect to it.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not.
Before we go any further, why is there an inclination or indication that we don't trust Black women? Like, what is the scenario Number one scenario or example we can think of that confirms that black men do not trust black women. Can y'all think of any?
I can't, especially given the fact, like I said earlier, black men have a documented track record of progressivism in the United States, from Frederick Douglass and Seneca Falls, which is where the women's movement, the feminist movement got its start, all the way to the present day. I mean, this is documented. It's not something I'm making up. We can look, we can verify it. We can look at Gallup, Pew, Ipsos. We can look at voting patterns. Well, I mean, 7 Ways to Sunday. Black men as a group now, far and away more progressive than anyone else. Well, since we're talking about black women, on abortion, where are we on that? We're we're very supportive. On black women being in leadership roles, where are we on that? Very supportive, both in and out of the home. Where are we on black women getting in education? Huge with that. Where's the patriarchy there? What patriarchy pushes their daughters over their sons to succeed in education? Where they do that at? I mean, it's just every body positivity, body size. Name another group of men in the country that's more forgiving of various body shapes. And let's just get right to it. Full of body figures than black men. Name them. Name them. Name them.
I think maybe a small portion of the Japanese when it comes to the sumo wrestlers, but other than that, actually no, because that's the men being fat.
That's the male. Right.
Yeah. Man, I will tell you this. I'm going to start with the premise of the initial statement, and I have a question. When you say trust black women, which ones? Because this is the issue that I'm going to have, and this is my pushback. I don't do the whole, they black skin, so they must be my friend. I got to start with how you think. I got to start with how you move. I got to start with how you act and what you think of the black men that you want to so-called trust you. Are you always throwing black men under the bus? Are you always blaming black men for all that's wrong in the ills of the black community? Are you misandrous? Do you place above black men's views and voices and trust in them black men the government? White liberal women? Why would I trust any of those women? So this is what happens when you do too much identity politics shit. Not all women are good people. Not all men are good people. We got to go off of behaviors, track record, how people are moving in this space and beyond. If I decided, oh, you know what, I'm gonna trust every single black woman, who's the fool? You. Not because there's no trustworthy black women, because all you got to do is reverse it. What group would be told they got to trust any group about anything 100% of the time? Y'all don't trust the politicians y'all vote for, and y'all barely trust a lot of y'all don't even trust the doctors. And now all of a sudden you talking about some trust a whole segment of the population when they have their own ulterior motives, some of which are good and some are bad. I'm like, no, this is what I mean when I talk about only a person that's feminized would say vote like a black woman, trust black women. Wait, why? Why am I being led by them? Why should I trust them? What's the evidence for why I should trust them? It's not about hating them. I don't trust everybody in my own family. So why it doesn't make sense to me. There's no pushback in the room. When you've been raised and trained to only see things through a female lens, where's the panel that y'all gonna push for the group that y'all saying that we got to trust so much? How much do they trust us? Why do you think that the discussion about leadership is such an issue? Who's going to lead? Who's going to take charge? Who's going to be in the driver's seat? The same people that are bucking against our leadership, that's bucking against anything that we have to say to get us on the right track, is the same people. It's the same group, not all, but many of which who have no problem with telling us why they won't listen to us and won't be led by us and will disrespect us if we don't follow and agree with whatever it is they want. It's the same group you're saying we need to trust. Why? I have a simple question. Let's say the men in the room, whatever his name was that was just talking, let's make it super simple. let's say the men and their behavior and their actions from the past to present justifies why they can't be trusted. Fine. What has taken place within the confines of the Black community, specifically in terms of interpersonal dynamics between these two sexes, to justify why all Black women should be trusted? What's the evidence? What's the thing? Is it because when we say something, they trust us? Is it because they overwhelmingly listen to us when we critique and tell them things that we know is harming their chances in the dating market? Is it when we say, well, we don't really like that hairstyle, or we like you more natural, and they fight back to that? How are you telling us to trust people who have fought us on almost every single form of correction? They are in a position where they think they are not allowed to be critiqued, and the only men they're going to listen to are gay ones and ones that's like in that meeting.
And I'm gonna tell
Why
you,
why am I trusting women that don't trust healthy heterosexual men to be able to lead this space? Why would I trust them if they don't trust me? That doesn't make sense to me.
and I would say this, man. They have the audacity to fix their mouths to think or even make a statement that we don't trust them. I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Mhm.
I'll pull one of your cards. What is the single most thing that a man can entrust to a woman?
His seed.
His seed, right?
Yeah.
Even though we're getting dragged through courtrooms to be able to just see our children, 350,000 to 400,000 of our sperms or fetuses or whatever it takes to make a life has been unalive between 2021 and I think 2023. That's more people that died in, I'm not going to even say which war it was.
Mhm.
You telling us that we don't trust y'all amidst all of this? Y'all are flocking to people like Shara 7 to learn how to milk us and extract us out of our resources. Well, we still look at y'all as the number one preference between all the women, and you saying we don't trust, and we trust you with our seed?
Bro, it's so, we saw them. Now, when I say them, I don't mean literally all Black women.
Right.
But if we saw a percentage of them cheer when Kevin Samuels died, we see the different content creators that's talking about stealing from men, playing men, using men. Them ladies that say that stuff, their subscribers and engagement and views is through the roof. Somebody supporting them, somebody watching them, somebody paying for the super chats. There is something going on where you keep telling Black men to trust people by putting their hands in a bucket of snakes and hoping none of them are poisonous and they won't get bit even after they've been bit before. I'm not saying distrust all Black women. What I actually am saying is, no, we're going to go case by case, individual by individual woman going forward. The days of racial solidarity when we have nothing in common is over. If you don't trust me, why would I trust you? If you're going to question my leadership, why would I try to lead you? I'm not voting like a Black woman. I'm not trusting all Black women. I'm going to do what I think makes sense in my head. And the woman that believes in me is going to follow suit. The end. Like, what are we talking about here? Why? Yo, bro, when are you going to do whatever? What's the guy's name that was just talking?
Clifton Powell?
No, the one with the break with the
the Conscious Lee.
Conscious Lee, yeah. Conscious Lee and all these other guys, I understand their lane. I understand how they make money. I get what they're coming from. I get it. And now listen, don't hate the player. I'm not gonna hate the player. It is what it is. But what I will say is there has to be room for these fellas, the FD signifiers, the Conscious Lees, and all these other guys. Y'all gotta realize, like, if you keep only spitting half the narrative, maybe there's a reason why you're not seeing a seismic shift. And what I'm gonna say is, don't get the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant treatment. All she said was one thing. Who's more delusional in the dating market right now? And she done spent 4 years talking about men and all our issues and knocking men down a couple pegs. She says one thing that she's noticed, that women are being a little delusional in the dating market. She's losing thousands of subscribers by the hour
Was that right?
as we speak.
Wow.
So
Damn.
when you don't want to get the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant treatment, where or some of the other ladies that's finally, Sarah Fontenot and the others that's finally saying, ladies, we got some work to do. We can't just keep having our hand out and making demands and not bringing anything to the table that men are actually wanting and attracted to. No, it's vote like a black woman, trust black women, the future is female, and all this nonsense bullshit. The reality is, bro, if y'all don't wake up in real time, your women been lost. Your women been taken over. It's the conscious leads and white liberal women that they listen to, and gay and men that's in the LGBTQ. That's who they consider the leaders.
Wow.
And a lot of them do. A lot of them do.
Wow.
Appreciate that.
Therapy is going to deconstruct the system of power. No.
I don't say. I'm not.
But this one begin at. Right now, I'm talking about trusted black women. Though. There's a system I'm saying that goes against it.
Aspect to it.
Right.
Yes.
I'm not.
Don't go to no white therapy.
No, but hold on. If we talking about therapy,
Let's talk about therapy.
this is therapy.
Yes.
This is therapy.
Right.
Us looking like us.
Yes.
Right. Different ages, different experiences. Us. It's gonna be ugly. It's not gonna be cute. We ain't professional therapists or nothing, but we are listening.
Okay, listen. Hold on.
And I think that's the point where we
And we
gotta
have to stay there.
Right here is just listen.
Stay there.
Listen and find and wait for it. Cause sometimes it's just the listening. I think that's the whole part of this whole thing, because we don't listen because we live in this space of feeling like we know everything. And we are not the smartest people in the room.
I think it goes a step further than that.
Go for
I
it.
think we're too ashamed to admit when we're wrong. And so when we go, when trust, I'm gonna say something. Tressie Cottom, credible writer, sociologist. She says we are smarter when we listen to black women, not because all black women are right, but because all black women deserve to be heard, right? And when we're so caught
Stop
up
the tape right there.
in a pot in the
Stop the tape right there. There's a sister on social media. Matter of fact, we're talking in the back channel. You two brothers know her. You know who I mean. She goes by the name of Taylor Chandler. Okay. The sister had a run-in with Dr. Tressie McMillan Cottom last week, wherein Dr. Cottom, after seeing Miss Taylor's video clips on Instagram discussing the documented problem that black women have with their weight and how that impedes their success in the mating market, which is the bedrock of a community. You can't have a community if you don't have couples. That's how it starts. Couples get together, they have children. Other couples get together, they have children. Other couples get together and they have children. Pretty soon, you have a community.
Yep.
Dr. Tressie McMillan Cottom saw the sister on Instagram and felt a way about it. Miss Taylor said, well, listen, we can get together and talk it out. You know, you can come on over to my YouTube or what have you. We can sit down and talk it out. And if I'm wrong and you can present the evidence, fair enough, I'll take it back. Dr. Tressie McMillan Cottom doesn't go on Taylor Chandler's show on YouTube. What she does is she goes over to her stories on Instagram, does a 10-minute long rant wherein she personally attacks Taylor Chandler. Now, she says we do better when we listen to black women, but she didn't listen to Taylor Chandler, her sister.
So when so when I said which black women should we be listening to? Which black women should we be trusting? The ones that saying that there's nothing for black women to change? That black women don't have to lose weight if they're overweight? That they don't have to care about black men's preferences and requests of what it is.
Leave black women alone. That's what it's called. Leave black women alone. That's the one. Yeah.
So this is what it is. They don't actually mean trust or believe or listen to all black women. They mean the ones that agree with the majority of the narrative. This room is henpicked. Henpecked, I meant. Henpecked. We could just call it you're following.
That's what it
marching
is.
orders.
Henpecked.
It's a
That's what it
henpecked
is.
room. And what I see when I listen to a lot of these guys is internalized misandry.
We are smart.
It's internalized misandry.
So,
Yeah,
so
they
I
can't-
mean,
they
the
can't say
intersections
something-
here is insane because this brother's referencing Tressie McMillan Cottom, and she just got finished tweeting a sister, like she was basically she all but called her a cat's paw of the right. Look at the video. Don't take my word for it. She's right there on YouTube. She did a breakdown of the whole 10-minute video. Tressie McMillan Cottom, who I write about in the book. Oh yeah, chapter 33. I mentioned Tressie McMillan Cottom in the book. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Incredible.
It's internalized misandry, man. They have a worldview where they can only look at men through a negative lens and a critical one. And all of that disappears when it comes to analyzing female behavior, especially black female behavior. And I'm like, I don't mind people holding men accountable and saying things men need to work on. But if that's all that exists, that's internalized misandry to me. You have a built-in predisposition against men. And this is what this room was filled with. This is what this entire conversation was. It was just, it was women talking with just a little extra testosterone in the room. Not much. It's a little bit more. And that was it. It's internalized misandry. They have a deep-seated distaste, disdain, distrust, and anger and hatred towards men. They just got men saying it. Internalized misandry. We need to start using that when we see this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sounds good to me.
I think we're too ashamed to admit when we're wrong. And so when we go, so like when I'm gonna say something. Tressie Cottom, credible writer, sociologist. She says we are smarter when we listen to black women, not because all black women are right, but because all black women deserve to be heard, right? And when we're so caught up in the process of listening is love. That's how we love black women, by listening to them, right? Again, everything they said isn't necessarily right, but they do deserve to be heard.
So let me address that.
Hold on, let me finish. Let me back it up. In doing so, we can help dismantle patriarchy because we're leading hold on, let me finish, bro. We're leading with listening.
Man, look, we can't help but to hear black women. How much they be yelling in my damn ear. I don't understand it.
Bro, they can't even listen to each other.
We talking about listening black women. We listen to them. That's why we move the way we move, because we listen. We can hear.
Bro.
There were times
that's
where
such a good
we
bar.
didn't even have access to the little rooms they used to go huddle up in and talk shit about us. Now they doing it online. Oh, we can hear.
It isn't necessarily right, but they do deserve to be heard.
So let me address that.
Hold on, let me finish. Back it up. In doing so, we can help dismantle patriarchy because we're
Damn, oh my God. That right there did it for me right there. If we listen to black women, that's the agenda.
It
This
is.
ain't got shit to do with
There it
the
is.
community or nothing. It's to dismantle male authority.
Yes.
By
That's it.
any means necessary.
That's it. And again,
God.
if they ever said we need to listen to each other, a lot of people will work with you. You'd be like, oh, you know what? Man, you had it in the past. Women are effing it up right now. You know what? Maybe we need to reevaluate from the modern context for the black community. Too much power in the wrong hands or it's too lopsided, things can kind of go left. Maybe we need to figure out what's the new egalitarian approach amongst us. We could have that conversation in the community where clearly everybody's fighting and vying for who can be trusted, listened to, and be led by. There's a whole lot of fighting over the steering wheel right now. But if your talking point's not going to be egalitarianism, if it's not going to be healthy male leadership, and it's just shutting down male leadership and authority in all shapes and forms, all you're going to have, which these guys have, is a sea of women that's co-opting and not co-opting, supporting, paying for their stuff. And the crazy thing is these women will end up alone or with men they don't respect that they can walk all over. That's the crazy part of it all. Because again, listen to black women is listening to some black, again, I won't say it again. We can listen to them all. And like he did say, and I'm gonna give him credit, they're all not right. But this is the problem. How many of those that espouse things that are not right do we have to keep listening to before we acknowledge, you know what? Where you coming from, that ideology is toxic, problematic, is what got us here in the first place. Chandler is actually trying to let black women know what one of the issues are. Wait, Kevin said it. Everybody who has balls has said it in the space. Weight is an issue. How you carry yourselves, how you dress, how you speak. You're being argumentative, especially behind closed doors and especially in the public realm. There's a lot of things that we're experiencing that's letting us know a lot of you haven't been trained or shown on how to follow or even identify the right man to follow. That's all. That doesn't mean men got it all together. That doesn't mean all black men know how to lead either. What I'm saying is as we're trying to figure out what's this future going to look like between the two parties, two sides, my options are simple, man. Male leadership or egalitarian. Female leadership is actually what we're in now. This is why we got a room full of men talking like this. If this is the result of more and more women, who handpicked these men and put almost and got them in this space? Like, we can't see through all of this. These are women talking points. Y'all should have just got a table full of women and said all the things I wanted men to do. Or
how about that?
And it would have been more believable.
Yeah, I think these men did. I mean, even if those women did have agenda, I think these men did them a disservice because they wasn't really specific with none of the details that they wanted to accomplish.
Listen, that's what they want us to do. Listen, trust black women. That's it.
And they talking about trust and listen. All women have been failing to dismantle some of the things that is causing them to embrace or subscribe to the things that are separating us from connecting as far as family units are concerned. You haven't even dealt with that. How are we to trust you to dismantle a system that we don't even have control over for real? You want us to trust you and listen to you so you can articulate some type of method or framework to dismantle a system that you don't even have any control over.
Darwin, I literally hear women say on all these comments, stuff like black men ain't even own no industries. Y'all don't even run nothing. The white man up on y'all, all this stuff.
You're conquered, all that sort of stuff.
Conquered and all sort of stuff. Yeah. So like, if we're so weak and inept, how do we now have all this earth-saving power to now dismantle the almighty patriarchy? If you say you're better than us at everything, if you say the white man better than us and everything, it sounds like your ass may be more equipped to dismantling the patriarchy than apparently we ever could. Conditional femininity, conditional leadership, conditional submission, all these conditions. But the crazy part is they won't even keep their conditions on the other side. This the crazy part. Darwin said it earlier. Y'all don't want us listening to you. Y'all don't want us actually paying attention. Y'all don't actually want us truly listening, because the crazy part is what's happening in the dating market, the marital rates, the divorce rates, the who has kids and who don't rates, who's dating out more than who. Y'all know that's because we listening, right? Y'all know this because we paying attention, right? Because y'all know it's not just going off of just skin color alone, right? So when we look past just skin color, a lot of y'all not wives. That's the secret that nobody want to say out loud. A lot of y'all are not wives yet, but this is the difference with what I'm saying in comparison to maybe some other men in the space. You can be, but it's not going to be just on your terms. There has to be agreement between both sides, and you actually have to. How about trust black men?
Amen.
Or how about learning which types of black men to trust?
Get out of there, Jeff. Get out of there.
That's why we listen. Why you think your rates are what you are? Because we just hate looking at black skin next to us in the bed. I'm gonna respect your platform, Darwin.
Oh no, go ahead.
We are listening to you. Black men are paying attention. They are trusting you're going to be who they think you are based on what they observe. That's why a lot of y'all not married right now. That's why a lot of y'all are only single mothers. It's not. It's because they see that's all you're fucking good for.
That's it.
So if you want us to trust something, if you want us to trust you, give us something to trust. How about starting with when we say something that's uncomfortable, when we say something from our lens and our perspective, rather than shaming it, telling us to shut up, how about trust black men in that moment to be honest with you? Why y'all think all the men that's at the table to tell y'all what y'all want to hear, y'all lives ain't changing? Then we got men who's actually risking things, telling you what you need to hear, and y'all trying to find out where we work, how we can lose a license, how we can get demonetized and our channels taken down from. But you telling us to trust you simultaneously. You're attacking the only men that care about you is basically what I'm effing saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate Clifton Notes anesthesia. 4 months. I'm on a call tonight and shuffling through multiple podcasts and live content while I work. By far the best conversation tonight. Shout out to
Hey.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, you got another big super chat, Darwin, down there.
Yeah, we got some super chats here. Let's get to a few of them that I might have missed. Come back to this one. KP from KC. This is these men internalizing the lens that Miss Healy from Rosewood. You remember that movie Rosewood?
I do.
Took himself out of the news, boy. That was iconic, bro. Miss Healy has trained Keisha well, trained socialist Marxists. Shout out to you. Shout out to Stuart Knight. And we got
game over. Yeah.
Thank you for calling out the foolishness. And listen, y'all, with these super chats, this is probably like the most I got in a while, man.
We need to keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. I was saying, Jeff, earlier, I was making the point, and before we get to the big one here, I'm looking at. I was really thinking about last week's discussion. That point you made about those young boys with that podcast and how it looked in the production values, etc. And you made a really good point about the Call Her Daddy podcast with Kamala Harris back in 24. And I'm looking at this situation here, and I'm like, who's funding these people? Who's putting all this money together to get these guys all in the same room, all on code, as it were, with Big Mama presiding? Who's paying these people? I've been saying for years, brothers, you have got to follow the money. All right. Anytime you see black folks ostensibly talking about black issues, you gotta ask who's paying them. Okay. The Black Manosphere conclave is 100% supported by you, not corporate sponsors, not the Democrat Party, for that matter, not the Republican Party. I mean, Charlie Kirk ain't got nothing on this. Candace Owens got nothing on this. This is 100% supported by you. If you want your own voice and your own views in the public square, you gotta be willing to pay for it. It's that simple. It's that simple. The Black Manosphere Conclave has no corporate sponsors. We have no nonprofit. It comes all from our ticket sales. I was just talking to Darwin and Jeff about some things we're going to be doing behind the scenes. We got a whole section of our website where we offer webinars, courses, all types of things to help you become the best version of yourself, financially, mentally, physically, you name it. I mean, from the boardroom from the boardroom to the bedroom and everything in between. It's all funded by you. I look at these people now when I think about Jeff, and I'm looking at these things, I'm thinking back of what Jeff said. I'm like, yeah, man, who paying these people? Who is paying them? Somebody is paying these people. Who's paying them? And that's what you need to be asking yourself. Who's paying these people?
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't us, it's like what Morpheus told Neo. If you're not one of us, you're one of them, an agent. Okay? Think about that.
Nah, man. My view is, I think what happens is they find, like what happened with a lot of these commentators that get really big and get signed to these very, very big corporations. Sometimes they'll just stumble across it where they'll see somebody that has a fairly small following, but they're malleable. They use the key talking points they're looking for, and then they flush their channel with money, and they back them. And then before you know it, they're everywhere. They're blowing up, and it's a meteoric rise that you can't explain, because you can't, like, they went from nowhere to something, and it's like, what the heck? And then now they have mayors coming on the channel. Like, it just doesn't. It's not adding up. And then, like I said before, the tell-all sign is just listen to them. Just watch, and you'll realize half these left-leaning podcasts where these folks are now having spaces that really weren't popping 4 or 5 years ago. It's not because they're popping like that. It really isn't. It's like a lot of it just feels very fake and artificial, and it's like it's very forced. And you watch it where a really, really big person on the left starts a podcast, some even connected to the political space. Mm-hmm. And you would think that their size and how big they are, they would get way more engagement than they don't. That's the real truth. Exactly. That's the real truth. There is no left version of the quote unquote Joe Rogan. No, it just doesn't exist. And all these propped up things that they're trying to put out there, you know, the only way they can get the viewers is get the big guests. And I'm like, there's something happening here. And I'm telling you, the more and more we watch the stuff, it's like, I in my head, I can kind of, like, we saw it with music where we say, oh, this person was a plant. I think at some point we're going to have to start using that discussion when it comes to content creation. There's plants. Hell, I've been accused of being a plant. When I first went viral, I think because I went viral 2-3 times, people were like, there's some king making going on. I'm like, bro, if it was king making, you know who I'd be getting on? Who else I'd be getting on? You know what my views would look like if somebody else had a hand to play in this? It really is just me and my small cohort of people working with me that started from me from early on from the beginning. That's it. So I can have a really big guest and end up with 10,000 views. And then I can get a small guest and it goes to 2,000 views. And then I can get another interview and it goes to 50,000 views. That's what organic looks like, right? Especially this early on. Mm-hmm. So when you get people that young, that inexperienced, that professionally inexperienced, something's not adding up to me.
Well, there is a concerted effort to wrest control of the black male narrative. There is a concerted, I am convinced now, and there have been some other people who have kind of put a bug in my ear like Jeff did last week when we got together. They're calling us the Three Horsemen, by the way, in the chat room. But there have been brothers who have put bugs in my ear over the past year about what Jeff said. But when Jeff said it last week, what we reviewed last week, that clinched. I said, okay, that does it. Because I'm somebody I'm not a conspiratorial person by nature. I'm like, but no, there's too much. And now we're looking at this thing here with Clifton Powell. And listen, man, there is a concerted effort to subvert the black manosphere narrative. And there's big money behind it. There's no, you can't get past it. That's what it is. They are trying.
Whoa. A guy named Dub Will at around 10:20 Eastern Standard Time posted a comment that said, consciously is married to a Latina. Did he trust a black woman? Got to be consistent.
Ooh.
Hold on now.
Uh-oh.
Wait. Because some of the men in that room, do they sleep with black women? Were they trusting black women in the bedroom?
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I know. Oh. That can't be real, bro. Is somebody just saying that in the chat? Is that real? I've never seen his significant other. I don't even want to see her.
Don't make us loud, nobody now.
But let's prove the point, man.
Anybody got any photos? I mean, that will settle the matter. Anybody got any photos? We can find out real quick if she's a sister.
That's from Dub Will. That's not originally coming from me. I'm just reading the comment. We're gonna find out. But
Dub Will said it, not me.
We gonna trust black women for real, huh? Uh-huh. Okay. Just not during Cinco de Mayo, huh? Okay, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Consciously why? Let me look at it.
Yeah, look that brother up. Shout out to Willie Beeman.
I can't tell if she's Latina though.
Willie came down there with us up City. He was the one that spoke on the stage with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And he said he looked forward to come crossing path with Oscar Brother podcast as well.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir.
let me see. We got some super chats in here. Let me get to him first, and then we'll come back. Shout out to Archie Rowe, $20. I'm just a black man supporting black man, as this is our only chance and the only way we rise.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you,
Thank you.
chat.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to the three ways.
Thank you.
Three wise, man.
For the sake of protecting his relationship and not knowing if that's accurate or true, I'm gonna leave it as undetermined. Because she could easily pass for a light-skinned black woman, just visually from what I see on the pictures.
But wait a minute now, hold it. I thought that brothers was color struck. That was the argument. The argument was that's the argument. Colorism, right? The argument was that the brothers, as soon as they get on, they trying to get them a light, bright, and damn near white. That was my understanding of it.
I was told my wife is too light skinned now.
She ain't black enough.
Yeah, she ain't black enough.
Damn. Somebody tried to say that I wasn't black enough at one point, but it's all.
Listen, man, we gotta trust the black women. That's what they really mean. You gotta trust the black women. That's because you can't trust the half and half because you only half trust black women at that point if she's light skinned.
Shout out to Deception. Lately, when I date, I feel a lot of sisters want to trigger an argument. They think lower brothers. I'd rather just stamp my passport, live my life. Amen to that. And then
oh, fellas, why don't we tell everybody about Thursday? What's coming up?
Tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
Why don't y'all let folks
We
know?
getting suited up twice in a row. The 2 nights in a row. Tomorrow night. Can't wait.
Who is that? Is that from y'all crew? Is that Miss Delta guy? MS Delta
Yeah,
guy.
I think that's MS Delta. Yeah.
$50. Y'all cooking with bacon and grease. Man, we
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
We're going to use these resources to amplify our reach and our voices within our content. Trust that it's going to be used properly.
So Darwin, if you have a chance, man, because I'm getting ready to go and get something to eat because I've been starving.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you can show the flyer for tomorrow, everybody that's currently watching from either of these two channels, we highly recommend you guys tune in tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. The three of us, we technically, started last week, and we're going to try to continue this at least every other week. Sometimes we're going to squeeze it in if we can, do it every week, but we're definitely going to try to do every other week. And we're going to try to do it with either 3 or 4 of us. And the fourth person, sometimes it may be a particular guest. We're going to try to aim for some of the big names, City, and he know a lot of people. So our goal is to really bring the real raw stuff that I think you all are really appreciating. And this is absolutely what we're going to be covering, addressing the male issue from every man that you see on the screen. And I'm going to put myself in that bucket. A lot of us have gone through situations that's really, really caused heartache and issues when it comes to women. Money's been on the line, family issues. There is an issue when it comes to men in this space. And unlike all the people outside of the manosphere that constantly talk about how all they do is talk about women and shit on women and women ain't this and hating on women, those of us who actually are in it are going to acknowledge no, accountability exists in this space. It's time for us to go over the signs and the symptoms of men that don't understand that they have a problem when it comes to boundaries, when it comes to acknowledging that your perception matters, your image matters, your name matters, your character matters. And when you start to think that those things don't, you're going to find yourself in many of the situations that these gentlemen have found themselves in as well. So our goal is not just about, learn to, how to pick up women and also the stuff. Like, no, we got to start with, how do we start with knowing which women, like we said, to trust Black women. We got to learn how to learn who to trust, learn who to bring into our space. Not all coochie is good coochie, right? So we're going to have to really, really delve into what is it that's going on that's causing a lot of men to lose empires, lose financial opportunities, lose so many things, lose their families and marriages over this stuff. As a man myself, I'll be the first one to say a huge portion of why my last relationship failed and I got a divorce was because of these very issues. It wasn't the only issue. She had plenty of her stuff as well, but I'll be the man to take accountability for the fact that boundaries and inappropriate relationships with other women costed me a lot of things, including respect from other people. So this is something that I think we're definitely going to be delving into tomorrow. We're all excited, man. And what y'all got to say about it?
I am excited about it. It's long overdue. It's something that needs to be discussed. I'm very happy to join my brothers Jeff and Darwin on this because I'm just very happy. But I'm going to save my fire to tomorrow. I'm just very happy about it. It's long coming, and I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Well, I will say this: it is going to be 8:30 tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure y'all pull up. One of the gentlemen in the flyer is Dave Anderson. Hopefully, he's going to be able to pull up. I expect him to. I don't know if he's going to be busy or not, but make sure y'all pull up. Well, I will say, since we are on the topic of trusting and loving Black women, and us not trusting Black women or listening to women, period, is the issue. But I will argue that most of the guys you see in this, not all, but most of them that you see in that small little square, they trusted women. They trusted them. They trusted women. And look what happened.
Nah, man, the person who said his wife was Hispanic, I don't see that, man. She just look light skinned. I don't see that. I'm still looking at it, by the way, but I don't see that.
The argument was colorism. That was the argument. The argument was if a brother get on, he gonna get himself light, bright, and damn near white. That's what they said. That's what they said.
Listen, colorism and interracial relationships only apply to certain types of Black men. It's usually the ones that's not using their talking points. The ones that's using their talking points and the ones that's gay can date and do whatever they want.
They get a pass, huh?
They can sleep with men. They can be like Don Lemon. They can be Kamala Harris. They can be anything they want because they following the script. That's the double standard rules that nobody wants to acknowledge, man. Everybody else, if you agree with us, you can basically do what you want. But if you disagree with any of our main talking points in our ideology, we're going to nitpick your relationships, who you with, your track record, whether we think they'll say they support gay men, but then use gay as a slur against you. It's double standards, different rules. It's all about whether or not you tell them what they want to hear, man.
Wow.
Shout out to Logan.
Thank you.
Said not black enough. And if you got to cut out Ask Brother podcast, we understand. We appreciate it. But he said not black enough. If her hair curly, then her hair not 4C enough. They never asked if her character had anything to do with why you picked her or if the character is why they didn't get picked. Yeah, they'll never ask that.
So listen, y'all. I'm gonna have a good night. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Folks. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow.
Yes,
I
sir.
do have a surprise for everybody watching on my side. I do have a surprise big interview tomorrow with a very reputable doctor that a lot of you have heard of and has been on a lot of different platforms for sure. And then obviously I'm going to be working with the guys right after, so immediately after at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So please make sure that if you have not, please make sure y'all are subscribed to Darwin and subscribe to Ask a Brother on here, and that you'll follow all three of us on Instagram and all of the other social media platforms for sure. Appreciate you fellas, man. I'm gonna talk to you on
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
Okay, appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you.
I don't know how much longer you got.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to run up out of here too. But yeah, I'm getting ready to run up out of here too because I want to grab me something to eat. But yeah, man, this has been great. I'm loving this. This is whoa, what a ride here. What a ride. Thank you all, brothers, for hitting the collection plate, man. That's so very important. I mean, Jeff is right. I mean, Jeff and other brothers over the last year in particular, they're right. This is a full court press now. You can't get past it. It's a full court press to try to subvert the Black Manosphere position, the Black Manosphere narrative. And we really do need your support, brothers. It's just that simple. I mean, I know that may sound heavy-handed, but the truth just has to be told. These people I saw an ad for the Democrat Party. They hitting up people for money. They're trying to hit a $4.2 million goal to raise money for the midterms coming up later this year. So it's a full court press. And me, Jeff, and Darwin last week, the stars aligned, and we got together behind the scenes. So yeah, man, we're gonna do this thing, man, and for us to really, move it forward, and going into the conclave this September, we really do need your help, man. To support the efforts that we got going on here. Keep us rolling and helping us grow this thing, because the word is getting around already. We talked about this earlier today in the back channel. The word is getting around already about what we're doing. We just got started last week. Then the word is already getting around. So yeah.
All right, Ali, I'm gonna hold it down from here. I'm gonna get through the rest of this. I ain't gonna hold you up, but I will see you on Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, appreciate you, brother.
All right, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the fellas got to eat, man. Them fellas got some good food in the kitchen. What you doing, Will? You trying to pull up here and help me finish out the rest of this clip?
How much time you got before you wrap up?
About maybe 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah. My lady telling me something, so she finishes telling me I'll come join you real quick.
All right, cool.
All right, bye.
All right, the show must go on. We got a little bit more of this to wrap up.
And so, hold on.
Just to be clear, I didn't spend hours cutting all this up just to cut out. No shade to my brothers that left, but I got to get the rest of this out. I appreciate y'all sticking around. So let's get back to this.
Let me finish, brother. We're leading with listening. Yep. And if we lead with listening, that means we're not listening so that we can respond. Mm-hmm. We're listening to understand, which means you might have to ask another question. If you speak, it is to ask another question,
and not censor yourself,
so you can get more information from the source.
Okay. And so I started out really quick with that patriarchy, because we keep saying patriarchy, and you were saying without centering yourself, and I think that's really important, because I wouldn't know. I'll just be real. If me being young nigga in the street, I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't say young, but
when I was. I'm not saying now. I understand what it is now, but I'm saying when I was, I wouldn't hear somebody talk about dismantling patriarchy and be even attracted to the conversation or even know what that means, right? And so what I would like you to go a little bit deeper into what does that even mean? Because for me, the way I'm thinking about it is the way that we've been taught wrong about our power. Yes. That we are supposed to, that we have some sort of privilege in certain some situations, that we have a little bit more power than somebody else, and that we abuse that power. We use that power to try to control the situation in our favor, when we should be listening to other people, when we should be honoring their existence and centering their freedom, their liberation. You know what I'm saying? So what their experience. So what does that mean to y'all? What does that even mean to dismantle patriarchy? What is that? Why is it harmful? And I'm not putting that necessarily on you, but whoever wants to.
Can I go?
What does that mean? Yeah.
So when someone comes to you and they already know what you possess as a person, you know, like for example, like a lot of doctors. Once I feel like a lot of black men get higher education, a lot of people want to get treated like a bitch. That's the truth.
So this is where I don't agree. I don't know where this thing come from. Men get higher education or they become successful. They want to be treated like a bitch. No, they value all of the things and time and effort they invest into their careers, into their lives, into their status, whatever that may be. And they want to be treated with respect. They want to be recognized as somebody who is important because they did the work. It ain't got nothing to do with being a bitch. So these are some of these terms that they're using that are not quantifying, or they're not substantiating the details or whatever it is about why they're using this term to step against a man who went to school, picked up a trade or some type of expertise or some type of education so he can be more valuable for a particular position in the workplace. But he's got to be called a bitch because he want to be recognized in a different manner or in a different way. Shout out to Will for pulling up. Also, shout out to that recent super chat that I just got. Says, I thank Jeff and guys for getting together exactly as it's suggested. What's up, Will?
What's up with you, bro?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the rest of this footage, and if you see anything that you recognize that you want to comment on, just let me know to stop right there. All right. That's my guy, Will. That's one of my bros.
Like accolades, get treated like a bitch. Like you want when someone comes to you and they already know what you possess as a person. You know, like for example, like a lot of doctors. Once I feel like a lot of black men get higher education, a lot of people want to get treated like a bitch. That's the truth. Like accolades, get treated like a bitch. Like you want, like, oh, like
take care of me.
Yes, take care of me. Like, or like, you know, oh, like I'm the prize. You know, I'm the prize.
You talk about when you become rich and famous.
You don't even got to be rich and famous. It could be you going like for 12 years in academia.
That language is
trying to understand you.
What?
Like treated like a bitch.
like a bitch.
That's how they want to be treated. Some men want to be like a prima donna.
But think about the
That's
way
relative
that
to
you're saying
patriarchy.
that, and what we're talking about now around centering like black women and their experiences, and even the saying treated like
I'm not making that connection. Bitch to me is subservient. Men can be bitches, women can, you know, like I shouldn't say that.
But you're a man.
Yeah, but
so you being called a bitch is not the same as a woman being called a bitch, especially a black woman being called a bitch.
I feel like the black women that listen to this, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. They're gonna know what I'm talking about.
As long as we put, because I think it's important. I hear what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I get it. What I think that it's important that we talk about all of it.
Yes. This is what I feel like. We're speaking in this way. This is how the dismantling happens, because the language and how we say things is very important.
Sure. Just for the record, they're trying to figure out how to dismantle the patriarchy so that black man can trust and listen to black women. Because if the patriarchy is in effect and operational, it is impeding on our ability to trust and listen to black women. Just to catch you up to speed what this meeting is all about.
I think, you mind if I chime in now?
Go ahead.
I think it's asinine to listen to guys like this talk. Women don't want these men. These men don't want women. Why do we care what they think?
Come on.
The notion that calling a man a B and then saying is different than calling a woman a B and then adding especially a black woman. What's the difference between a black woman and a non-black woman when calling her a B? There ain't no difference. This idea that this hypersensitivity around black women is insane. And I really don't like that these men, I don't even want to call them men, but I don't like when these guys think that they have some sort of authorization to speak for women because they desire to be with the same type of people that women desire to be with. I think it's just, I think it's weird. I think it's inappropriate. I don't ever want a woman speaking for me, not even the quote unquote pick me's, not, I don't want women speaking for me, period. And I think it's crazy that men think that they can speak for women. And a lot of times these women can't articulate their own thoughts. And a lot of times these dudes go a little too hard trying to, I don't know, gain favor, think they're going to influence us. They're not going to impress upon us. Masculine men don't listen to feminine men. There's just not something we do. If we're going to listen to anybody, it's going to be a man that we revere. And there's nothing about a feminine man that I would ever revere. So I would never even take heed to what they have to say. Even if they're right, it's going to fall on deaf ears, sadly.
That's the same with me, bro. I don't even hear it. It just goes on in one ear. It don't even go in the ear.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So like I'm not saying like don't say it, because I'm like I say bitch all the time. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's essentially about when we're talking about the systems of power, and when we talk about dismantling patriarchy, and we talk about masculinity and what that means and what that looks like to us. And I can say even to y'all as someone as cis men, because my perspective of it is going to be completely.
So what does cis man mean? Because he said I could say that to y'all.
A cis man is they say, and this is what I think is crazy to hyphenate our title. A cis man is supposed to be a biological male. Why? Because you wanted to introduce this title, trans woman and trans man. Now all of a sudden, our titles need to be hyphenated to cis man to understand you're talking about a biological man. Why not just say man? And cis woman to talk about a biological woman, just say woman. But the trans community has infiltrated us, and we're so stupid because you, Darwin, as a man, you're a man. I don't have to know your sexuality if you present as a man. You could be gay or I could be gay, and no one needs to know if we present as a man. But these guys wear their sexuality on their sleeve. I see hetero guys I perceive to be heterosexual men all the time, but they're not acting heterosexual. They're just acting like a man. These guys act feminine. That's why we're able to see that there's something different about them, because if they act masculine, which I don't know why they act feminine, because they want to be with men. So just it's a phenomenon that I would never understand. If you are a man and you act like a man, but you like men, how would I ever know? Well, I know because you don't act like a man.
But cis man has a deeper meaning, and I think it's no different than trans man. According to this definition, cis is a prefix meaning on the same side as, used to differentiate from trans men who were assigned female at birth but identify as men, highlighting that all men, cis and trans, are simply men. But the term cis man clarifies alignment with birth sex when necessary, often in discussions about gender identity. It's confusing, but I might be off a bit, but
well, yeah, I may have missed part of it.
People were saying that person was a woman at first and then transferred into a man.
Well, you said that last part again?
They said this is a trans man.
Yeah, trans man is supposed to be somebody that was born biologically female and transitioned into male, even though they may still have the female body parts.
So there's a claim earlier in this live that guy that was talking, the Hispanic looking guy, was actually a woman at first. But I don't know how to confirm that or whatever. I don't know.
Could be. She, whatever he is, whatever it is male passing. So I'm going to look at it and think it's a man. Yeah. I'm not going to look at it and think it's a woman. So if it was biologically a woman or is biologically a woman, but now has transitioned to being a man, then it will be considered a trans man. And I'm not trying to say it to be badgering or demeaning or whatever. I'm just saying I don't know, because you introduced this piece of information. I don't know what the person's gender is, because that's how crazy we are in this society now. Because now when you say the Hispanic looking one, you're not talking about the one with the glasses. You're talking about the one sitting,
One with the
sitting
glasses,
next to him.
the one with the glasses is just queer. I mean, not queer. I don't even gay.
Yeah, and then the one next to him is the one you're talking about.
The one
So
that's- yeah.
neither one of them are people that I would ever listen to. I mean, I'll listen to them for the sake of a dialogue, but I'll tell them, I'll say, listen, it's hard for me to hear what you're saying because nothing you're saying makes sense. You think you can speak for women, even if you was biologically a woman, because you transitioned to a man and you want me to view you as a man. How do I then allow you to cheat and tap back into your female nature and act like you understand women because you was born? So are you a woman or are you a man? Don't act like you're both, because you're not both. You're either a man or you're a woman.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to double dip and be able to say, well, you know what, this benefits me, so I'm going to pick and choose which side I'm going to be on. Shout out to me. You either a man or you a woman. But if you was born a woman and you're trying to transition into a man, you're still a woman, because you will never understand what it is to be a man. And a man who wants to transition to a woman will never understand what it is to be a woman.
Yeah. Facts. Let's finish it up.
And how we say things is very important.
Sure.
And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So like I'm not saying like don't say it, because I'm like I say bitch all the time. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But it's essentially about when we're talking about the systems of power, and when we talk about dismantling patriarchy, and we talk about masculinity and what that means and what that looks like to us. And I can say even to y'all as someone as cis men, because my perspective of it is going to be completely different from how you all experienced it, having come from a different place. So like when growing up,
So he did come from being a woman to or cheat, whatever.
I have two brothers, and the way my father taught my two brothers what it would be to be what it meant to be a man, and how to show up, and what masculinity meant. It was always domination, it's power, it's strength, and it was never really softness, like protection, not softness. So I wanted to combat the idea that being a good man, a man is being like or men are natural protectors or natural providers. I don't think that's the case at all. Men are not. You can't be a natural protector and provider when you are the one that's causing harm.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you protect? You're protecting. So you say you're protecting women.
You said that so eloquently.
You're saying
So simple too.
He said it the way I was trying to say it.
No,
you're protecting yourself.
Then he be doing this motherfucking hands like this. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
So that is largely how we wrong.
And then we talk about masculinity. So when we're teaching young men and boys,
I think we on to something here. I think we on to something.
What masculinity is, it's always an antithesis to femininity and
Exactly
womanhood.
right.
So then it's just like, oh, to be a man and to be strong and to show up means you don't be like a woman. So
Right,
being a woman
right.
is less than. It's always going to be down.
So let's go back to what we were talking about at the table. Listen.
Right.
What I was trying to say to you was this.
I think.
Out of everybody in this motherfucker.
You want to pause that real quick? I'm so confused with this notion that a woman is not less than. I have daughters. I have 4 daughters, and I'm never ever going to teach my daughters that they are equal to a man. You are beneath a man. And if you're not beneath a man, then you should be able to compete with a man and don't ask for any type of a handicap. There's men who can't compete with every man. I'm 6 feet, 210, 212 pounds. There's only so much I'm going to be able to do physically against a guy. Like, take you, for example. You 4 inches taller than me. My brothers are all 4 or 5. Well, I got a brother who's almost 6'2", and I got 3 brothers that are 6'5". I'm used to dealing with guys your size, like if I had to tussle with somebody. So although I'm smaller in stature, I can hold my own to some degree. However, the average guy my size who's not accustomed to dealing with bigger stature men are not accustomed, are probably not going to have or be able to hold their own as easily. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to come out victorious in physicality dealing with men that are bigger than me, but I understand that if he's bigger than me, he's probably stronger than me. This notion should just click for women. He's bigger than me. He's more likely stronger than me. That means we're not equal. I wouldn't think that I'm equal to a man like LeBron James and his physique. I wouldn't think that we're equal. I wouldn't even argue the fact that, yeah, we're both men. Yes, if I had to compete against a man, I would have to compete against him. Yes, I can't ask for a handicap. But for me to think that I'm the same, come on, man. It's like we act like math is not math anymore. 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2 anymore. Because of this whole trans movement and because of the LGBTQ plus IA plus movement are yielding to them, they are hijacking everything. They're now telling us we have a guy who's not even a guy, born a woman, now telling us what it is to be a man. And we listen to him because he's male passing. And now this idea that the patriarchy is bad, he is now part of the patriarchy, allegedly. But we will never hold him accountable to the patriarchy because then he will hide under the fact that he was born female.
A woman. Yeah.
Well, if you was born female and now you want to be a man, you, sir, are complicit because I was born male, but I didn't oppress none of these women. So I'm guilty because I was born male. If I'm guilty for being born male, you're also guilty for transitioning into male. And the guys who were born male who are transitioned into women, they're still guilty too because they was born male. How can they absolve themselves because they say, no, I'm a woman now. Therefore, I didn't do anything. I am not part of the patriarchy because I denounced the patriarchy. Well, if you denounce the patriarchy, then you would have to prompt up the matriarchy. Now, if you prompt up the matriarchy, don't think for 1 second this is going to fix the problem. All it would do is the matriarchy would now be the toxic group of people because absolute power corrupts. So whoever's on the top is going to be corrupt. If it's men at the top, it's going to be a corrupt system. If it's women at the top, it's going to be a corrupt system. Last thing I'll say, I'll let you finish the video. We talked all this junk about how slavery set us back as people. Now we have what? Black mayors, black politicians, black congressmen and women. We had black senators. We had a black president. We had a female, allegedly black male president and allegedly black female vice president. Did we see anything change?
No, we actually saw things get worse.
So I'm confused. If white men are the problem, if men in general are the problem, with all of these, they say, and women keep talking about how they're so oppressed. Women are more advanced than they've ever been in the history of the world. And they are complaining as if it's 1912.
Yeah. Ask a Brother podcast drew some contrast between the women over here and the women in the Middle East that are forced to cover themselves and they can't even educate themselves. There's rules and they can't even speak out loud or yell without getting into trouble. That's a real patriarchal system. This ain't even like women are able to lobby and position themselves to be the leader of the free world if they want to. So yeah, I don't understand what that is. It's just weird to me. I'm trying to figure what I had that question for. Oh yeah. So inside society right now, as people are free, the society and the systems that be recognize a male gender who transformed into a woman as a woman. Do they still, does that layer come, does that filter negate whenever they go into prison? They go in with the males?
So we hear about because men overload the court system with violent crimes and tend to go to prison more than women. So the trans women who are still men, right? They're still going to create all this violent crime. Like if you look at all these shootings that have happened lately, a lot of them are done by trans.
Hold on, wait. Whenever they get convicted and sent to jail, do they go to the population with the men?
That's what I was about to say. So we don't have enough record. We don't have enough data on that because think about that guy for a second, that little Hispanic looking person. That's a woman masquerading as a man. That's a woman masquerading as a man. That person right there is not going to create these violent crimes. Why? Because they're still a woman. They look like a man, but he still has the brain of a woman. So he might create crimes of passion, but just the violent crimes that men generally do, that person right there is not going to do those crimes. So that person right there is probably less likely to end up in prison. However, the reverse counterpart of that person would be a guy masquerading as a woman. Well, that guy masquerading as a woman has more psychological problems than the average man, but they still have the tendencies to create violence like the average man because they're still a man. But now they're masquerading around as a woman. I could assure you that guys who masquerade as a woman gets far more hatred spewed their direction than a woman masquerading as a man. Because we will see this guy and think nothing of him. We would first of all think he's a man. They pass a lot better than guys pass for women.
So all you got to do is identify as a woman, and you can be placed in a woman prison. You don't you don't have to transition. You don't have to.
No. You don't, to my knowledge, no, because it will be discrimination for them because they, again, allowed these fools to hijack every aspect of earth. They will put a person with a tabernacle in a prison with women.
So let me ask you, you remember Damon off of Friday?
Yeah.
Next.
Yep.
Or next Friday?
No, it was Friday after next.
I think he was in both, right? Oh, no, yeah, he was in both.
Yeah, he wasn't in both.
Was he?
Nah, he wasn't in both.
Yeah, he was.
Baby D was in next Friday. She was the bully.
Oh yeah, he wasn't in both. He was in Friday after next.
Yeah.
So if that man say, "Look, I'm a woman," they gonna throw him in there with the women?
Yeah. Unless they're gonna face a lawsuit.
Let me show you who I'm talking about.
Yeah. You talking about Terry Crews? Yeah. Terry Crews gonna be in there with all that vagina. Yeah.
This dude.
Yeah, Terry Crews.
No fucking way, bro. No way I'm a judge and I'm sending him to be locked up with the women just because he identifies as women. No way.
Yes, but see, a woman will have a reality check very, very fast if she's calling herself a man, commit a violent crime. I guarantee you she identifies as a woman when it's time to get sentenced.
Oh, okay. So they switch it up during sentencing.
Well, first of all, they're not going to put a biological woman in a male prison because them men will have fun. Think about it. Them men will have fun with men. You think they're not going to have fun with a woman? You can identify as a man all you want. Your vagina still going to get wet.
I think that's a shot. That shot's fired.
You can say, "Oh, no, I don't rock like that. I ain't interested. Nah, listen, you don't do it for me, ma'am, ma'am, sir. I don't care what you identify with. If somebody fondle that little area, it's gonna start leaking." You can't tell me that a man can force himself on a woman who don't want it and her body responds to him, but it's not going to respond. Come on now, because you identify as a man. Come on now, bro. They're not going to put no biological woman identifying as a man in a male prison. They're not going to do that. Because if they, I mean, look it up. You're in front of your computer. Look it up. See if there's any women that have ever been placed in a male prison because they identify as a male. Oh, by the way, our ladies was talking greasy about us, bro.
Who that?
Your woman and my woman. That's what she was telling me about before you sent me the link. We got to talk about it afterwards. We talked about.
So it says, yes, a transgender woman can be placed in a male prison.
Not can they, have they?
In the United States, despite evolving policies, the vast majority of transgender women in custody are housed in men's facility.
In prison?
Yeah.
Or in jail?
In early 2025, approximately 99% of transgender women in Federal Bureau of Prisons custody were housed in men's facility.
No. That's a man acting like a woman. You got to do a transgender male or transgender man because that's a woman acting like a man.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me switch.
Yeah, they'll throw that tallydactyl swinging dude in a female or a male prison. I'm saying, will they throw a biological woman in a male's prison?
So a transgender woman can be placed in a female prison, but the ability to do so is subject to rapidly changing, highly contested and very legal, political, and administrative policy in the United States. Early 25, the situation is characterized by conflict between recent executive orders. So they got some issues going on with that.
You're looking up the wrong thing, bro. You got to look up a transgender man.
Okay. Okay.
Do they put transgender men in male prisons?
Can a trans man be placed in a male prison?
Yes.
A trans man can be placed in a male prison as policies in various jurisdictions such as California under Bill C-16 Wikipedia increasingly allow transgender prisoners to be housed in facilities matching their gender identity. However, placement often depends on specific regulations, with some regions still considering safety and security risks.
What are we talking about? What the hell you mean? This is criminals. You talking about safety. That's a man, ain't it?
Policies and gender identity policies in certain regions dictate that transgender inmates, including trans men, are placed in facilities that align with their gender identity rather than their sex assigned at birth.
Okay. So then you would have to find out, is it actually happening? And then wonder why are these safeguards put in place? The patriarchy runs the world, right? So wouldn't it be the patriarchy trying to keep these trans men safe?
Yeah.
Help me understand something, because the patriarchy is so bad. If a woman who identifies as a man commits a crime, that woman who identifies as a man should go to a man institution. And if she goes, a male institution, and if she ends up in a male institution, it will be open season on her. But the patriarchy is going to step in and be like, we can't do this.
Yeah.
This is actually a woman.
Yeah.
I think what they need to do, bro. I think what we need to do is we need to just all dudes need to back up, let women run the world. Just give them the keys, man. Give them the keys, because if we're gonna delay this, we're basically playing with the scab. If you're just gonna pick at the scab, or just pick at the scab and pull it off and let it start bleeding again, and just let it work on healing again, because we're just delaying the inevitable. These women are fighting so hard to be us. They have penis envy on a level that I can't even articulate, and we just some punks.
I'm bad.
I mean, if my woman keep on the race she going, I'm gonna tell her she gonna be head of the household. I'm gonna just fall back and let her run the show. Be like, hey, I mean, she do a great job as a woman, but sometimes she got a line. So I'll be like, hey, you want to run the show? I can fall back. I can put all this responsibility on you.
be strong and to show up means you don't be like a woman. So
Right,
a woman
right.
is less than, it's always going to be down.
Right. So let's go back to what we were talking about on the table. Listen.
Right.
What I was trying to say to you is this.
I think.
Out of everybody in this motherfucking room, I'm 70 years old. My mother committed suicide when I was 4. My father was a dysfunctional alcoholic. I'm just learning. Like you said, I think when you learn, you gotta do better.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying to do better. So we talking about trusting black women, because that's why the fuck I'm here.
Right.
And I don't like doing this kind of shit.
Right.
Because my brain is on another level, because I live with the boss. I live with a queen who's a boss, that if you saw me, and I'm just saying this, and that's why I got emotional, because I'm living it right now. Every 18 seconds, a woman gets beaten in this country by a man. When a woman is killed, it's by the domestic partner. So it's a lot of things that y'all are talking about that's true, that in order for us as black and Latino men, or you Latin?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm half Latin.
Head ass.
I'm just saying.
No, but I'm just saying, what I'm saying, nobody at this table, black women, we gotta figure out where we are as men and how to get away from what you said, that patriarchal kind of bullshit that we've been taught, like your dad, be nice to everybody else, but got his thumb on your mother's head. That's not love.
So what happens when you come to a woman that you don't see as a queen?
Okay,
Real fast. Right now, we just got done doing the No Kings rally, right?
Right.
Talking about kings, talking about Donald Trump. You see what I'm saying? We keep on talking about a queen, automatically places a hierarchy. So what do you do to the women you see as peasants, and or what do you do when a man does not see your woman as a queen?
Okay,
I think that's a part of the issue.
Real quick.
What a hierarchy.
Wait. So I think that there was something. I think there was something really important that you bringing up and that you bringing up when we're talking about
I need a drink.
When we're talking, well, here you go.
You gonna take one?
I stopped drinking for a year. I stopped drinking for a year. I need a goddamn drink.
So I think there's something really important. How do we understand who taught us?
You know what's crazy? These motherfuckers know good damn well they ain't supposed to be talking about this shit. That's why they want to drink and smoke that shit away, because they know good and damn well they are not supposed to be having this motherfucking conversation right now.
I'm trying to figure out, well, how do you, so a queen, what is a queen without a king? How does a woman rise to be a queen without some sort of male dominance?
Or male lineage, right?
Well, let's just say, let's just remove the idea of a male lineage and just say she came from a single mother that we don't know how the woman got pregnant, and that woman was a queen. That woman passed away. So now the girl is a queen. But how does she remain a queen without the presence of men? What women are protecting her queendom?
I think I think they use the men as the protectors. I think like the Woman Kingdom or some shit like that. You ever seen that movie, The Woman King?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen that foolishness. I wasn't gonna watch it for the longest, but I was like, let me watch it. You know, I know it's gonna be some good Hollywood cinema. Let me watch it. And where they at? Why they? If they can do this, why ain't they doing it? Help me understand again. Back to my example, a queendom. What women are protecting the queen? What women are dominating to take? How does a queendom spread and expand? How do you take the neighboring kingdom or queendom? What, you just negotiate? Hey, I want some of your land. Let's play poker, and if I win, I get your land. Everything is acquired through war. What women are waging war, and what women are fighting wars? This protection that these women have in this country is due to the patriarchy. But yet they want to dismantle the very thing. Women are dumb. Yes, I said it. Women are dumb, and they're their own Trojan horse. And men are dumber than women, because we are allowing a weaker vessel to guilt us into surrender, to give them equal share when they're not at the equal share. they're after complete domination. They want to completely take over. And eventually they will, and they'll be their own Trojan horse because they will be their own undoing. Because at some point, another man's going to infiltrate and they're going to let him, and he's going to come in because he looks like one of them.
Yeah.
He is a man masquerading as a woman. And he'll get in and he'll be able to get close to the queen and he'll be able to slit her little throat. Why? Because you'll let the enemy right through the front gates. He'll come, I'm one of y'all. It's a stupid species of people, bro.
There was something, I think there was something really important that you bringing up and that you bringing up when we're talking about
I need a drink.
When we're talking, well, here you go.
You gonna take one?
I stopped drinking for a year. I stopped drinking for a year. I need a drink.
So I think there's something really important. How do we understand who taught us how to have power, how to exercise our power?
Let's go. This is what I was saying, guys. Listen, try to hear me. I hate to sound like the grandfather, but I am. Is when you meet a woman who maybe has gone through trauma and has come out of that trauma and has fixed herself in terms of her tone and respect to a man, and she's gentle, she disarms you. But if you never seen that, you don't even know how to react to it. And in the beginning, when I met my girl, I was so fucking mean, and I was tough, and I was all out there, and I was all over the place, and I was disrespectful, and whether it's dopamine or oxytocin, I put all that shit in her face, and I crushed her. This really happened. And I called my partner, and one of my partners who's a thug, he said, fix it. My other partner said, when you hurt someone, where you leave them is where they stay. If we talk about being here to trust black women, we cannot trust black women unless every man that I know, and I'm still struggling with being monogamous in the streets because I'm well known, is we gotta start with, I believe, therapy, or at least reading and going into ourselves, holding ourselves accountable and say, yeah, I fucked up. Because the first thing, what am I calling my buddy? I said, man, she had my phone for a fucking month. He said, nigga, just don't say you did it.
We gotta meet people where they are. Sometimes I think you're saying reading. Reading is not the only important thing because a lot of people people can read and not really.
Everybody's taking every fucking thing I said. Hold on, bro.
I'm not saying that.
Stop taking the shit that I'm saying out of context, bro.
I'm explaining a concept.
You talking about reading? I'm saying reading is a myriad of shit you got.
All right, but that's not what I'm even going to. People read and don't understand what they're reading. You just said that your woman, your black queen, she's a queen to you, and essentially you kind of alluded to the reason that she was a black queen to you was because she was gentle to you and was able to make you feel like, oh, I can open up and feel safe.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
No, I said what I was trying to say. She held me accountable.
Held you accountable.
And forced me. Man,
you did not in a soft way that made you able to do it.
You know what's happening here, bro? It's the woman out of him coming out. When a man is talking, notice how all the other actual men are not interrupting Clifton Powell while he's taking accountability or telling his story. He or she is interrupting because that's the nature of the woman coming out.
But do you notice what else is happening? The other guys who are feminine in nature are coming to the trans person's defense because they know it's a woman.
Yep.
Or he presents like a woman even though he looks like a male. He's male passing, but he still act like a woman. We have this tendency to protect women and try to protect women from themselves. We need to let women crash and burn, bro. As much as I hate to say it, it's coming from a man with 4 daughters. We need to get out their way and let them run full speed into a brick wall. That's the only way. They either gonna figure it out and they're gonna shock us and we're gonna be like, oh my gosh. And then they're gonna prove to us that they were right. And we'd be like, damn, we should have just gave them the keys a long time ago. Or they gonna prove our point in record speed, and we're gonna be like, good. Now that we got that out the way, we can get back to business.
Back to motherfucking business.
Kind of alluded to the reason that she was a black queen to you was because she was gentle to you and was able to make you feel like, oh, I can open up and feel safe.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
No, I said what I was trying to say. She's held me accountable.
Held you accountable.
And forced me, man.
You didn't not for you in a soft way that made you able to clear it.
Because I'm about to walk the fuck out of here. We right here with you.
Yo,
What I'm saying, in order.
Like, oh,
I swear to God, yo. Bro, let me say this, bro. This nigga Clifton Powell, bro. The way this nigga get mad and cuss, that's his role in fucking acting, bro. And you know he's a great actor because the way he was responding was natural. That's how he really act in real life. So you know it whenever he's on script, they just tell that nigga to just be yourself. Just say what I'll call that head, I'll call that yo scout right off your motherfucking head. We keep talking. When you heard him on the what's that? Who made the potato salad? When that nigga was sitting at the end of the table.
Was he in that? I can't remember who was in that. That was a good low budget film.
Nigga, that was tough. But that nigga Clifton Powell, bro. When that nigga get mad, bro, woo. He said that ain't what I said. Look at his face, bro.
To you was because she was gentle to
Look at that nigga's face, yo. He like, this motherfucker don't know what the fuck he talking about.
I mean,
you and was able to make you feel like, oh, I can open up and feel safe.
That's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
No, I said what I was trying to say. She's held me accountable.
Held you accountable.
And forced me, man.
You didn't not for you in a soft way that made you able to clear it.
Because I'm about to walk the fuck out of here. We right here with you. Okay. But I'm saying, in order for us to trust, if this is about fucking trusting black women, then you gotta be able to let your woman hold you accountable when you do patriarchal shit.
We agree.
Right.
And when you come from the streets, that's almost impossible. Because we grew up, like you said, fuck that bitch. It's just so complicated. And in order for you to grow, even at 50, and I agree with you, you have to take yourself accountable. But when y'all bring me in this motherfucker, I'm living this. The main theme is trusting black women, but how do we get ourselves as men fixed to be able to love them the way they need to be loved?
Well, that's the beauty of this conversation because we won't get to that. That's the beauty of this exercise that has been created here and that will continue on because it can't be figured out in this round table. But we
talking about part two.
We are taking the steps.
I got you.
This is we are right now, currently, us, right now, everybody in this room,
why is there a
trying to
trans
lay this
person
one
there?
brick.
Say that again.
If men are trying, why is there a trans person in this room? So just explain this to me, D. Did this trans dude have these struggles growing up? Did this trans dude have these experiences growing up? Did this trans dude do to women what the other men from the patriarchy did? If he didn't do it, or she didn't do it, or it didn't do it, why are they there?
It's a plant. He's a plant. She's a plant.
Well, and then I don't know how much
this is alleged. I haven't confirmed, but everybody keeps saying it. So let's just say that it's alleged before we try to get ourselves in hit with it.
Well, I don't care. You acting like a woman. I'm gonna talk to you like a woman. So I don't care. I don't care what you look like. When I see gay men, guess what? I treat them like women. You know why? Because if we were to get into an altercation and something was to happen physically, I'm going to get hit with a hate crime.
Really?
Hey, bro, one of the dumbest things you could ever do is fight a gay man. I'd rather fight a woman than fight a gay man.
Damn.
Fighting a woman, you ain't going to get no domestic violence charge because you're not in a relationship with that woman. You're not going to get hit with a hate crime. Fight a gay man. And mop the floor with them. And watch what happened to you. They're going to put, anytime they pull up any social media content and you say anything derogatory about a gay man, they'll act like you hate gay people.
Yeah.
And they'll hit you with a hate crime. I would much rather get charged with beating up a woman than get charged with a hate crime or beating up a gay dude.
Damn.
to create more foundation that we can build on to be able to have a place of trust that black women feel like they can come into this space with us, that we will listen and we will sit
And be
here
gentle.
and be be gentle with ourselves, that we don't understand, that I don't understand what's being said, and I think somebody's hearing me wrong, somebody's saying wrong, somebody's talking over me, something's happening to me. These are all things that don't allow women to come and open up to us because we are ready to play football every goddamn time.
Definitely.
Right now, we gotta. So that's why we gotta have our space to
So
ourselves.
can I
A
ask a
man
question?
has to have
Can
his
I ask a
space to
question?
himself.
It's patriarchal.
Patriarchal.
Can I ask a question to
Right?
you? People are living in broken marriage is not working in this culture. 3 out of 5 marriages end in divorce. So people are living in fear inside of their own homes. So the question I'm asking is for guys who straight from the hood. Is it possible for those guys to sit in here with us and hear us? And
being from the streets, I spent 2 years of my life locked up fighting 2 life sentences. It took a woman, and going back to what you were saying as well about how we as men got to stop relying on women. Women are natural nurturers and providers. It took a woman to show me love to say, this ain't how you do this. And my first mindset, being from the street, bitch, who are you talking to? That's what I was thinking. But I had to understand, it's 2 parts to that. You either want to be a better person or you can accept what you think is right.
bro.
And so once she educated me on certain things and said, no, baby, we don't do it like this. You need to go to therapy. You need to do it. It was a lot of things that I felt like I should have been combative about, but I wasn't, because I know I talk to God and say, I need answers. My answers ain't always gonna come through a man.
For sure.
I was taught to believe that it did because a man should raise a man. But a woman is nurturing and caring, and if she cares about herself, she cares about her counterpart. So it's up to us to listen, to accept. We don't have to agree. 90% of the time, I don't agree. The fact that you can say, I accept, I receive what you're saying, you don't interrupt, you don't defend yourself. These are all.
I got a question. Is that hard for you as a street guy?
It's hard right now.
I get you. I get it. But I'm just making sure everybody get heard. All right.
No, it's not.
It is hard. It's hard because as a man, I know what I want to do, but I also know I'm trying to break a system that God is helping me break, because I have to unlearn what I thought was right. And her doing it, and not only that, even going into becoming monogamous. Naturally, it's not instinctually something I want to do.
You laughing? What you laughing at?
How do we? 2 things. How do we keep allowing a group of people who are not us tell us how we are supposed to behave? Imagine sharks letting lions tell them, hey man, you ain't supposed to be doing that. You supposed to be doing something else. They're like, dude, I'm a shark, you're a lion. How do you know what I'm supposed to be doing?
Right.
But these men keep suppressing who they are because a woman told them. Can you imagine when we tell women what they're supposed to be doing? Somehow that's problematic.
Oh, yeah.
But women can always tell us what we're supposed to be doing. And somehow that's supportive, that's encouraging, that's empowering, that's making things safe.
That's freeing him from what he learned was wrong.
The second thing that I find extremely troubling is this is the weakest generation of men that the world has ever seen. And this is the quote unquote strongest generation of women the world has ever seen. Yet they complain more than any generation of women, and they act as if they are oppressed more than any generation of women.
So I think our next TikTok prompt, it says, you're the most educated, you're the most empowered, you're the most entrepreneur. What is the problem? What do you think they're gonna say? I don't know what they're gonna say. I think they're just throwing shit at the wall and opening stick.
I receive what you're saying. You don't interrupt, you don't defend yourself. These are all.
I got a question. Is that hard for you as a street guy?
It's hard right now.
I get you. I get it. But I'm just making sure everybody get heard. All right.
No, it's not.
It is hard. It's hard because as a man, I know what I want to do, but I also know I'm trying to break a system that God is helping me break because I have to unlearn what I thought was right. And her doing it, and not only that, you know, even going into becoming monogamous. Naturally, it's not instinctually something I want to do. However, I do understand the game of life to know that this is chess and you can't cheat. As a key, which I am, my key only goes for one lock. I can't unlock every house. So I have to protect my home. As beautiful it is outside, it's the same way inside. So because of that, I can't trick myself out of position thinking that when I'm so focused on this.
Man, what the fuck did he just say?
Talking like he trans.
I don't understand the key to lock one. Let me play that back.
Monogamous. Naturally, it's not instinctually something I want to do. However, I do understand the game of life to know that this is chess and you can't cheat. As a key, which I am, my key only goes for one lock. I can't unlock every house. So I have to protect my home. As beautiful it is outside, it's the same way inside.
What is that, bro? I got to run that back one more.
Just talking, bro. Just words.
Her doing it, and not only that, you know, even going into becoming monogamous. Naturally, it's not instinctually something I want to do. However, I do understand the game of life to know that this is chess and you can't cheat. As a key, which I am, my key only goes for one lock. I can't unlock every house. So I have to protect my home. As beautiful it is outside, it's the same way inside. So
I don't know, but I don't know.
So because of that, I can't trick myself out of position thinking that when I'm so focused on this, I'm focused on this. My kids, my woman, I don't have time to kind of step out and be like, I gotta come on. She ain't always gonna be, it's a distraction. And as a man, I'm trying to win this game of chess. I can't do it, but I need to feel that lust. I need to feel that because I know I'm built to overcome these obstacles that are set in my way to make me go off course.
I have a genuine question for you. When you say you don't naturally have an inclination towards monogamy, what does that mean to you? I want to clarify the question, because you're like wanting to be in a monogamous relationship that is important to you and for your partner. So when you're out in the streets, what is it that you feel where you're fighting in order to like remain in a monogamous relationship?
The reason why he's asking that question because he don't know. He don't know what it means to get bricked up when a nice piece of ass walk past you. Your biology start to kick in and signal that, hey, look, yeah, it's time to go on a hunt. So that's why he's asking this question, because he don't know what that biologically feels like.
So when you're out in the streets, what is it that you feel where you're fighting in order to like remain in a monogamous relationship?
So for me personally, I don't put myself in a situation where I don't with it no more. I don't go out to the club. Okay. I don't hang around women. It's discipline. I got discipline. And this discipline is what the reward for being disciplined is the outcome of what makes men so great and what makes men be able to understand. So if I know that there's certain things that's gonna put me in those positions,
I'm putting you in that position hypothetically. Sure. That's what I'm saying. So like when you were out in the clubs and you were presented, what was it that you're like, yo, fuck my girl, I want to be with this girl right now?
Because one, like you said, it's lack of validation that I thought I needed, because the things that made me feel like a man was that post nut. That post nut made me feel like, it made me feel wanted because it started as a child. As we become adults, we don't understand you grow. The inside of you is always that child seeking that validation, that satisfaction of whatever it looked like in life. That's what it was for me. So I learned that in therapy. I had to learn to discipline
from
myself.
A woman.
I can't put myself in situations where that natural feeling, because if we only ask these questions when it comes to human race. We don't ask why lions go around fucking. We don't ask why monkeys go around fucking. The man is always allowed to go around and procreate in other animal kingdoms, but when it comes to us, instead of sitting there saying it's like men or dogs, that's all we know, but nobody gets to the bottom of why do men feel this way that they have to go and do this? And maybe that's just their natural being. But as a man, you still have to learn to discipline yourself, and you can't run.
You can't. Why you just gonna walk it back?
You gotta suppress who you
I
are.
might feel like killing somebody.
You gotta suppress who you are. You saying these are all of our natural ways of life, but you're wrong for following your natural proclivities. You're wrong. You need to be different. You need to be like trans people. Deny your natural existence for an unnatural existence.
Lions go around fucking. We don't ask why monkeys go around fucking. The man is always allowed to go around and procreate in other animal kingdoms, but when it comes to us, instead of sitting there saying it's like men or dogs, that's all we know. But nobody gets to the bottom of why do men feel this way that they have to go and do this? And maybe that's just their natural being. But as a man, you still have to learn to discipline yourself, and you can't run with it just because that's how you feel. I might feel like killing somebody. That don't mean I won't go to jail.
Right.
And it's repercussions. So once you understand how to love yourself and understand karma, karma doesn't always come back in the form of a woman cheating on you because you cheated on her. You may have been able to get a position and make more money, but because you cheated, you tricked yourself out of a position that you just didn't know what to come about. So,
see, I don't believe that. I don't believe karma. I don't even know if I believe in this karma thing. I don't believe if I cheat on my woman and I'm going for a position that I'm gonna trick myself out of the position because I cheated. What the hell is my elevation in the workplace got to do with my dick?
Well, I'm gonna give you one name of a person that dispel all of this foolishness that they be talking about. Donald Trump. He became the president. How if he did all these things he did, he shouldn't have did, and he became the president.
it's necessary.
I don't necessarily agree that there's a natural order to men or women
that's what I
being
was
monogamous or
polyamorous
or polygamous or whatever. I do think that that's a social construct. But at the end of the day, it is about the responsibility that you hold when you know you're gonna have sex with somebody. What's gonna come out of that, right? And in that, a lot of the time it is children, right? And are you gonna be able to take care of that child? Are you subjecting another human to some harm? You know what I'm saying? And in our society right now, we got to think about the danger, especially we in Georgia right now. In my home state, Texas, you got abortion bans, and what does that mean for that woman now to make that decision for herself, to be able to make that decision for herself, to be able to care for herself?
Well, what it should mean is that now that the woman has recognized that there's an abortion ban, perhaps you need to be more calculative and meticulous about the decisions you're making when it comes to sex. And I get it. There's cases where a woman is violated. I think in most cases those are considered. When a woman has got a life or death situation, maybe those are considered. But it's everything else. I think the large percentage of the abortions accumulate because of unwanted or unintended conception, and they don't want to have a kid.
Here's what I want to know, bro. With all this dialogue, what is the objective?
The objective was to decenter black men, empower black women, take down the patriarchy so we can trust black women.
To what end?
Nobody talked about that. Nobody talked about what are the costs. Nobody talked about, okay, let's just say, for example, they did take the patriarchy down. I believe the patriarchy has been dismantled, especially for black people concerned. But as far as infrastructure and how we run things, that is still solid. Nobody talked about, okay, what is next once we, like, who's going to have authority? Who's going to maintain structure? Who's going to police people? Who's going to say, okay, this is how X, Y, and Z should be done? You're going to have to put somebody there. You're going to have to trust in someone.
Well, this is you trying to figure out what they should be articulating. I mean, you're beginning without the end in mind, then what are you trying to accomplish? When you build a building and you start with excavating the ground, do you have no idea what the finished product is supposed to look like? You're gonna figure it out as you go?
As you build, right?
Or do you know what you're trying to build and you know this is solid ground for which you can build upon? I don't know what they're trying to achieve. What is the ultimate goal? Okay, we dismantle the patriarchy. Do we implement the matriarchy? Or do we implement a hybrid? What are we trying to do? And if we introduce a hybrid, how do we know when one wins out? And what does the patriarchy look like? And what does the matriarchy look like? And what does a hybrid look like? I don't think this stuff is thought through. I think it's just talking points because people have to find something to complain about. People have to be dissatisfied with something.
It is just talking points because nobody was able to articulate any type of layer peeling in a way where they got deep into a particular issue that they could start a starting point. Okay, this is what we recognize as the problem. This is how we fix this. Let's move. There was no navigation from issue to issue in terms of solving problems or pitching any new perspectives or alternatives to what already exists. None of that happened in that conversation. Even when you had I think it was a big disappointment, a huge disappointment.
I'm
I
disappointed
think the
to
person
have
that's most disappointed is the black women because they handpicked those men.
what to have that discussion.
Yes, it was. I think it was a black woman. It's a
I, I'm
channel called Sister Song.
I don't like none of the people that was there. I don't like Clifton Powell. I don't dislike Clifton Powell himself, but I'm saying what these people are talking about. I didn't like. I don't think Clifton Powell articulated himself well. I think he
was bottlenecked into. I think they bottlenecked him and ensured that he wouldn't really be himself and talk about it the way he wanted. Because I can sense in some cases he wanted to be like, he was the only one to say, "How can you trust all black women? How can a woman be trusted, or how can you love her whenever a lot of these women ain't even worth being trusted?" He was the only one that was coming up with that, and they kind of snapped him out of it. They kind of snapped.
but I don't like him because I mean his representation there because how snappy he was. Now I didn't watch the interview. I've only seen the clips you're showing right now, and I've seen one clip that went viral when he was talking about I'm just learning how to love, and him and the gay dude was arguing.
Would you be surprised if the one who ran, orchestrated this discussion
Was the gay dude?
was worse? No, I don't know. Was worse a black big back?
Oh well, I mean again. Clifton Powell is representing the masculine man, but he's representing men who lack self-control. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, that's her. Let me see. Not her. I'm sorry.
This one right here. This one right here.
Yeah.
Bro, we cook. We cook. We should just give up, bro. We cook.
You know what? Let me see.
Yeah, we cook.
That's all I saw when I came across that.
Mm-hmm. No, I like that statue better.
Why?
It's a better representation of black women than the woman who put together this event. Go back to the woman that put together this event. Let me point out the issues.
Okay. Go back to the sister that articulated the event.
Look at her hair. Look at her face. And I'm not knocking her for being unattractive to me. She can be unattractive to me because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So I'm not knocking her for not being attractive to me. But her size, I don't know why our big women tend to be so vocal and draw so much attention to them when they don't aesthetically present in the way that attracts men in general. So men in general will not go for her. Yet she is going to put this together to try to get men to understand and men to pivot and change who they are. What if I was to have a conversation with her, I would ask her, what are you changing for men's benefit? Tell me something that men could persuade you to change for the benefit of men. What do you think she would say?
How they look at women subjectively or objectively based on their body.
Well, no, but I'm asking her, what will she physically change? I'm not talking about will she change her body and get in
Would she
shape. I don't care
change,
what
or
she
what
said.
would we? Okay, you asked me, what would she
What
change?
would she change about her for the benefit of men? She would say nothing.
No,
Men should
she wouldn't
take me
change nothing.
as I am.
Yeah, she wouldn't take me as
So
I am.
why are men supposed to change? Why aren't women taking us as we are? And if you don't like that man, just go get a different man. You're trying to change men as a whole to be more palatable for you instead of both ways being true. But you know what, D? I was supposed to go help give my babies a bath, and I got stuck on here with you. So now I'm about to get in trouble.
Okay, yeah.
I'm about to get beat up on, and you about to get beat up on too. Just so you know, I'm gonna hit you up and tell you that they've been talking about us.
Oh, they have.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about us. And I was laughing because it ain't like she was lying about what she was telling me. I was like, oh y'all got a point. You know, me and this fool been tripping. And then they brought the third stooge into the equation. You know who the third stooge is?
Winnie.
They literally called us the Three Stooges. So I don't know if you can hear my baby up there, but I'm
Yeah,
about to
that's
go
why we
tend
all
to
gotta. That's how we all gotta link up. Man, you've been linking up lately in Atlanta, but guys, that's your boy Will. We're gonna let him go, and I'm gonna close this out. But I appreciate it. I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit though.
All right, my G, I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, guys, that was it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. What is my final position on this? I really don't have one. It's just, I know everything is about outcomes. I know this woman had a purpose with this discussion. I do not think that whatever she sought out to do, I don't think she connected well with it. I think if she would have had men who are actually, who she believe are causing the problem or causing whatever issues that she was trying to tackle or address, if she would have had those guys on that show, if she would have had those guys a part of that discussion, and maybe she would have got somewhere. Maybe she would have been able to not only get somewhere, she would have been able to understand what men are dealing with on the reason why they behave the way or interact with women in the way they do. She lost out on the luxury of having that because the way she selected her cast. You got guys like me that are available. You got guys that are like Philosophical that is available. Jeff St. James, Asidi and Ali. All of these guys that can just come out there and have a conversation on a level to where we can actually get the ball moving and try to connect and try to understand each other. But I think what she didn't want to deal with was the accountability part that we would have pushed on the women who are trying to create such change, like taking down the patriarchy. We're not just going to sit there and concede to that is the solution to fix the problem. We're going to address, okay, why do you feel like you got to take it down to be able to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish? And I don't think she would have been able. I don't think they would have been able to respond to that. I think he would have had to have some women. I think he didn't have a mixture of men and women on both sides that have the issues. Invite them all in and have a discussion and see how that plays out. That's what's needed to happen, but it didn't happen. So unfortunate for her. Hopefully, I'm gonna reach out though. I've already tagged them into in this live. I'm gonna reach out to see if they can make me part of a future conversation if they try to do that again. Hopefully she look at my content before she consider adding me, because I don't want nobody to be surprised on my perspective or my mindset about these things. I want you to know exactly what you're gonna be dealing with, because I'm gonna speak from integrity. I'm gonna speak from the position that I've cemented myself in with my content. And that's it. That's all I can do. So if she want me to be a part of it, I will. If she listen to this, I will pull up. I don't know. I don't even know where they at. I don't know if they're in Atlanta, where they at. But yeah, I most definitely will pull up. But look, I appreciate y'all, all the people who donated, who super chatted. Really appreciate that. I don't know if I can explain how much gratitude or how thankful I am for the donations. I don't get it often on this channel, and it might be due because I don't go live as much. But I think these particular topics that we've been addressing lately has been relatable and more shareable. So that is probably why people are being more engaging and involved in the chat. So every time I make a piece of content, I learn more and more about how to shape this channel in a way where it can grow. But I still need y'all to like it. I still need y'all to subscribe. I think over 75% or 80% of the people who watch this channel they're not even subscribed. And I think 50% of the people who watch it are returning viewers. So the numbers are off versus those who subscribe. But if y'all want to continue to get content and y'all want to stay on the hook whenever my uploads come up, because I do upload regular videos, you have to subscribe and set the notification bell so that it'll come up on your feed or come up on your phone and notify you that I actually uploaded something. We're going to be live again with Ask a Brother podcast and Obsidian Mumia Ali, who was just here. We're going to be talking about addressing the male issue. And you're going to see how black men, masculine black men, that live in a situation that has conquered these issues that a lot of these men failed to. You're going to see us effectively address the issue without dancing around talking points. That's what you're going to get. So I appreciate everybody pulling up. It is after midnight. I might pop up on King Talk or Culture Talk or whatever on JR's channel just to tap in. I don't know if they finished up over there. But I will see y'all on the next one. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Much love and thank you for the chat. Thank you for everybody who pulled up. We out.